First, let me ask you a question. Have you ever met someone who comes from different culture, who comes from different background, who comes from different religion maybe, who talk differently, who eat differently, who celebrate different festivals? That's the culture. Now, what's culture exactly? Culture is everything that shapes how people live. It includes language, religion, tradition, family values, food, clothes, music, and even how people behave with each other. Culture is like the air we breathe, and we don't always see it, but it's always around us. And it affects everything we do. So, culture is a big part of who we are and where we come from. So, it teaches us what's right, what's wrong, and how to treat people, and even how to show feelings like love, anger, sadness. Now, let's just talk about why culture is important in social work. So, in social work, we help people with their problems like family issues, mental health issues, financial problems. But to really help someone, we have to understand their culture first. For example, imagine you are helping a family from a culture where it's normal for the grandparents to make all the big decisions. If you only talk the young person without including the grandparents, the family may not trust you. You might give advice, but they won't follow it because they don't it doesn't not match their culture. So here's some examples. In some cultures, people don't like to talk about mental health openly. If a social worker doesn't know this, they might think that person is not interested in help, but really the person is just shy because of their culture. So you see, without understanding a culture, a social work can fail. Now there's something very important called cultural competency. So cultural competency means that social workers should be open, respectful, and ready to learn about other cultures. If a social worker does not don't understand the culture, different cultures, they don't even help the persons, they don't even help people. They don't even interact with people. So it means we should not judge people based on their own culture. Instead, we must try to understand their world, how they think, how they feel, how they live. So being culturally competency also means knowing that even inside one culture, people can be different. Not all people from the same culture think the same way, and that's okay. So in social work, we should always listen carefully, ask polite questions, and be ready to learn. We should never assume that what works for one person or what works for everyone. Let me share a short story as example to make it clear. There was a social worker who worked with a family, but another country. So at the first she thought that family was not serious because they missed two meetings. But later she learned that in their culture it's very important to stay at home when guest visits, even if it's sudden. So missing a meeting was not being rude, it was being respectful to their guests. So then after understanding this, the social worker changed her way to working with the family. She started calling before the meeting to make sure it was a good time and everything got better. So this story shows how important it is to understand the culture before we judge someone's behavior. Now I want to talk quickly about the diversity. Diversity means people are different in many ways, not just culture, but also religion, gender, language, age, and more. So in social work, we must respect all kind of diversity. Every person we help is unique. Their story is different, and their culture is a part of their story. So finally, I want to say culture is not something we can ignore in social work. It's not a small part, it's a big part of helping people in right way. So good social workers respect, understand, and learn about different cultures. They are always open-minded and always ready to listen. Because when we understand people's culture, we understand their hearts. Thank you so much for listening.